Hello, welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of CropLife and CropLife Iron, and a member of the CropLife Media Group, here again with my partner in crime, Lara Sowinski, with a nice new backdrop. Lara, how you doing?
Thank you. I thought I would upgrade the broom closet and go with a little bit of swing today.
I'm liking the silver trimmed mirror. That is a nice backdrop to what you're wearing today. So very good. As my backdrop never changes. It's either the bedroom or the studio. So I'm like, but that's fine.
Well,
So hey, anyhow, we actually just parted company. I just saw you the other day as we're recording this. This was the week where the annual Agricultural Retailers Association annual meeting and conference took place. This year's was at Orlando, Florida, which I got to say was sunny but cool. I expect when I go from Ohio to Florida that the temperature is going to increase by more than 20 degrees. And when it was only up about 7 degrees from what I left in Ohio to what I got to, I got to say I was a little disappointed.
yeah, no, it was kind of chilly the first few days, but I think when the conference concluded on Thursday, it was starting to get warm. So for
Yeah,
those,
which is always the case when you go someplace, the weather is not the best, and then the day you're coming home, about an hour before you board the plane to leave, everything gets perfect. So, oh well, the weather gods, they are fickle.
that's how it rolls. Eric.
Yes. So, hey, anyhow, my general impressions before we dive into some little specifics, my general impressions of the meeting this year is that it actually was pretty well attended. It went well. There were everybody there seemed to be in a fairly positive mood. I know that last year's meeting, I guess based on maybe it was a come down from the COVID years that everybody was a little apprehensive going into the upcoming growing season, which was 2023 at the time. But going into 2024, I got to say the retailers, suppliers, everyone I was talking to, they are, let's say, cautiously optimistic that next year will be a very good year for their businesses and their customer bases. What were your takeaways on that front?
Yeah, I agree. I think that those that we spoke to casually kind of felt the same sentiment that overall things were better than maybe what we had anticipated in the fall when we were looking ahead. So I think I felt the same way. I think overall people are feeling better about 24. So it's nice to have the wind at our back going into a new year. So
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because I usually use, the ARA show is my early read on what's coming in the year ahead. And then the Commodity Classic event takes place usually at the end of February or sometime in early March.
Mhm.
And that by that point, then there's a little stronger read on what's coming in the growing season ahead.
Yep.
And it'll be, like I say, know what the feeling was here in Orlando in December of 2023. It'll be interesting to see if that follows through until February when we get together for Commodity Classic 2024. So
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. All in all, like you said, well attended, good vibe on the floor. So it's great. Great conference.
yeah. So hey, I'll toss this to you because I mean one of the things that takes place at the ARA, we've been doing it now for I think almost a dozen years. We call it the Retailer Roundtable at ARA, and that actually is something that here at CropLife Media Group hosts. We actually get together with several ag retailers and we get their read on the market, talking about trends, concerns, opportunities, issues that are near and dear to their hearts in the ag retail community. This year, we had 5 ag retailers take part from representing companies of Co-Alliance, Mid-Kansas Co-op, Grow West, Brandt, and Greenpoint Ag. Now, Lara, I was moderating, so I was going back and forth with these folks. So, but I was listening to what they were saying, but I know you were taking copious notes. So if you could share with our viewers, coming to maybe a bullet point positive and a bullet point negative of what the takeaways were from that roundtable event.
Yeah, some of the highlights that we discussed during the roundtable, We kind of started off with some of the new technologies and how they're helping not only gather more data, supporting better decision making, but certainly making more judicious use of products and application, and how that certainly a bright spot. But I think some of the comments in the room were that these technologies are great. We still have to kind of get a handle on it, if you will. But I think we kind of started off with a little bit of talk about technologies. I think we spent a fair amount of time talking about labor, and we talked about how labor still is a differentiator for your company. We talked about different ways to attract labor. Really, I think a couple folks in the room talked about really working with FFA, and then going into schools and programs, really trying to connect with those young people earlier on. The other thing that was a nice thing to hear, and several of the companies said this, that they've started to do a lot more training in-house, whether that's their drivers, for fleets, for their fleet drivers, for equipment operators, really kind of bringing that training in-house. Not only does that help, nurture that talent, develop the talent, but it really is, it's attractive for folks that are looking for an employer, and where are they going to commit? Where do they want to kind of, invest in their career? So it's working for the companies to develop that talent in-house, and likewise for those that are looking for spots. So I think that training thing really stuck out for me, like how many people now are doing training in-house. And I think that it also really lends to nurturing that company culture. And again, that was kind of a theme, not only that stood out during the roundtable discussion, but certainly the ARA program. Keynote speaker on day one was a woman, Kim Lear, Lear. She's the founder of Inlay Insights, INLAY. She was fantastic. She does a lot of research, and she's a sociologist, amongst other things that she does, where she really is looking at starting like with the baby boomers, and then looking at the generations, and really understanding and helping the clients understand the nuances about, we all make fun of, hey boomer, that's a stuff like that. But she really was good about helping the audience understand how best to honestly take advantage of the things that, here's how you can connect with those people. And it really, like I said, she really spent a lot of time, and gave us a lot of good tips. It was really well received. And after her keynote, I noticed a lot of people went up there to kind of connect with her and learn more. Likewise, one of the breakout sessions during the conference, two ladies, Erin Meis, MEIS, and Kristen Ireland, People Spark Consulting is the name of their consulting firm. They had us do a very interactive, with the attendees, kind of teasing out some stuff. What was our what did we think was happening in the workplace, but however, this is what's really happening. Kind of the central theme of their presentation was on engagement, how really to engage your employees so that they don't leave, so that they feel valued, so they stay, so that they perform better. Some of the two stats that they tossed out, and I wrote down because it was kind of supporting what they were saying about how employee engagement really is kind of suffering in the workplace. And again, of course, this isn't unique to the ag space. This is kind of across the board. However, the vast majority of their clients are in ag. 37% of employees are looking to change jobs. And that's a sizable number. And so not only are you losing the employee, but what they did, and it was really hard numbers, and they were really the cost to replace an employee who's left, the onboarding, the what it takes to go out there and recruit new talent is just so expensive. So, really, if it's a good employee, you don't want to lose that employee. So in other words, understanding, making those investments in the employee while they're there so that you don't lose them. I mean, obviously it's not good when a valued employee leaves and all the experience and expertise and tribal knowledge, if you will, that they take with them, but that replacement cost is so high. And then this one really, really stood out for me. 52% of employees who left their job said that the manager could have done something to prevent them from leaving. So in other words, if that manager had interceded earlier, or had engaged with them, or had asked them it, and not just said, good job, but let's talk about it. Or if something was going wrong, like, well, let's, tell me more about it. What can we do? So again, really great. I was really struck by just how much the presentations during the conference, again, really a strong labor and talent, attracting and keeping the talent. So I think we all learned a lot. It was great. The sessions were well attended, and again, just at the end of each one, just seeing the number of people that went up there to talk to the presenter was pretty remarkable. So
Yeah, no, it's a good point, because
yeah.
I know myself. I mean, having worked now for about 40 years, a little more than, um, you know, you could put up in a job, anything is tolerable, but if you have a bad manager or a boss that you don't think is engaged with you, that'll demotivate you faster than anything else I know. And I would imagine that probably half my friends that have changed jobs over the years, that it was because of their manager, their direct supervisor, not being up to par, is why they left, to find
Yep.
something that was a little more,
Yep.
someone was a little more supportive, a little more engaged. So very, very good point, that. So
No, it was good. It was great. We all enjoyed those.
okay. Well, earlier you mentioned ag technology, and one of the things that and this is sort of a little sloppy segue, but I'll take it. One of the things we do every year is CropLife Iron hands out its Product of the Year award. And again, that's an award that we have 5 products that compete during the fall, and then they get votes from our viewers, our readers, and those votes then are tallied up, and we give a trophy to a winner. And in 2023, I'm happy to report the winner was Raven Industries Augmenta for their Sense and Act system. So here is myself on the floor of the ARA show in video, giving the winning trophy to Ben Voss from Raven Industries. And I'll apologize, the audio might be a little hard to hear, because show floor was where we were videoing this, and it was a little noisy, but here are the details on the winning product, the Sense and Act from Raven Augmenta.
Hello, I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of CropLife Iron Magazine, here at the 2023 Agricultural Retailers Association meeting, presenting the Product of the Year award for CropLife Iron. And I'm happy to report for 2023, the winner of the award is Raven Industries Augmenta for their Sense and Act systems. I'm here with Ben Voss at the Raven booth. Ben, congratulations on being the winner.
Well, thank you very much. We're really proud to receive this award, and on behalf of Raven, I'm not very full.
If you could share with our viewers a little bit about some of the key features that make the Sense and Act such a unique system from Raven and Augmenta.
So, Augmenta is a company that we acquired earlier this year. They were a startup company based in Greece. We had a great team, lots of engineering behind it. It's a device that has a very, very high powerful camera on it. That camera is combined with obviously the newest in artificial intelligence and for technology that connects to the plants, and then allow the operator to do all kinds of things with it. So it's a very universal device. the ornamenting feature. It's a very grayed out fish. It's coming out with green on brown spot spray technology with it. It's also very useful for field scouting. It gives the operator the ability to take high resolution pictures while they're operating. If they see something unique, they want to take a picture for their agronomist or for the bird. It's a great feature for the over here. So we've had quite a few of these worldwide. Excited to bring it to the U.S. and market and introduce it into the applications.
Very good. Now, of course, you made an impression with their CropLife iron readers because they voted your product best for the year. What kind of feedback have you gotten from the customers who've been using the Sensenact here this year?
Really very positive feedback. We have a lot of concerts using it this season. Everything from variable rate desiccant application on the sides. We've had very great as their top grossing, and we think it's catching on because it's quite affordable. It's unique in the space, and that it's not as expensive as some of the other offerings that are out there, and that's given option for people that want to get into new technology. Sensenact is essentially what it says. It's kind of literally interpreted as you're using a sensor, then you're doing an instantaneous decision to change it within the field to that information. So it's pretty cool.
Very good. So if our viewers are interested in finding out more about Sensenact, where would they find that information?
Well, we have a lot of it on our website, of course, but you talk to any area representatives. Our dealers have some information about it. If you're a Meta dealer, they're certainly looking to try to engage with the end customer. And of course, we have a pretty good presence on social media, so you can find some hint stuff out there with a lot of our team. It's often putting up videos and information. So search us out, you find it.
Very good. On behalf of CropLife Irons readers and all of us here at CropLife Magazine, congratulations, Raven Augmenta, for winning the Product of the Year for 2020. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
So that's what Ben Voss from Raven Industries had to say regarding the Sensenact system. And again, as he noted, if you want to find out more information, check out the Raven website on that product. And Laura, I'll say, I mean, there were 5 products nominated for Product of the Year for CropLife Iron. And, Sensenact ended up winning, but the product that finished second place was the One Spray system from our friends at Bosch BASF, which was a showstopper winner during the Maggie show this summer. And again, the top 2 vote getters, both ag tech products. So I don't think that was a coincidence given where the marketplace is going.
Right. Yeah. No, congrats to Ben Voss and his colleagues here at Raven. That's great. It was fun.
Yeah. So one other thing was kind of fun to do is, again, a friend of us here at CropLife for years and years and years, Amy Asmus from Asmus Farm Supply, co-owner with her husband Harlan. I know some longtime viewers probably remember at one point we had her do a cooking segment for us where she actually prepared a burger made with some weeds in her garden and then pickled a few things. I think it was called purslane was the weed, and served it up as a lunch. And I know everybody loved that video, and maybe in the future we'll get a follow-up from Miss Amy. But I was pleased to see that Amy Asmus was now she is the chairperson at ARA. And she, in her acceptance speech, as she was taking over this role from Ian McGregor from the McGregor Company, basically in this video clip, you'll hear her say that, people is the important thing going forward as she moves into this new role. So here is that clip.
People that I learn from, people who are retailers that I compete with on the acre and collaborate with in the industry. Also, there are people that are not retailers, but important stakeholders in our success, who without you, we as retailers would not be able to do what we do. You should be starting to hear my theme for today. The basis that I think that will continue to make ARA great is its people. My work with this group and its members have cemented in my belief the power of hula, as talked about by Jim Collins in his book, Grade My Choice. As I move into the position as chair of the board, I find great comfort in knowing that I'm not in this alone.
So that's a little bit of what Amy Esmus had to say in her acceptance video. I'm sorry. I know that most people who were at the event in person will probably comment on the fact that Amy told her, I guess, famous story now regarding her grandmother and the red dress.
Yep.
I can't do the story justice. So if you want to get the full story, I would reach out to Amy and have her share with you. But the bottom line is her grandmother, when she went to a social gathering, wore a dress that made her stand out, because her point was, if you were going to attend an event, you should stand out, because otherwise, what's the point of being there?
That's right. You have to be memorable.
Memorable. This is right. But like I said, Amy can share the full story with you. So Amy, when you get hundreds of emails from our viewers wanting to know the red dress story, you'll have me to thank or blame, your choice.
Yeah, no, actually, it's so cool that Amy is going to be the new chair of the board. I'm really, really excited for her. And I think, yeah, her little speech about people and getting, and it was the same thing, getting involved, like getting involved. She kept on saying that. You don't need to be part of a committee necessarily or whatever, but just and show up more than just to the annual conference. I mean, really just, get out there. And I really, so she had a lot of good things to say. I always laugh because she'll preface her presentation sometimes like, I'm an introvert. I don't really like to speak. She's one of the best speakers because she's she's got a great sense of humor and she's personal. Like I said, that story with the red dress. So I'm thrilled for her. And she's also a Women in Ag Tech ambassador. So extra happy for her. So
well, and I'll add a little side note to that. I know that there was one person in the audience who was so impressed with her speech that they went up to her after the speech, asked for a copy, her printout of the speech.
wow.
And Amy not only gave it to this person, but she signed it. So the autograph, when Amy becomes famous 10 years from now and her signature is worth $1 million, this person will have it ready to go on eBay.
Yep. Not only can she sew, but she's a top-notch head of the board now too. So
yeah.
great.
So that was a wrap on the ARA meeting here in 2023. And I guess next year it'll be in a special place. And we'll see if our viewers can guess based on the little prop you're holding up where we're going to be. Yes, folks, if you correctly answered Houston, that is where ARA will be in 2024, December 3 through 5, I believe. So that again will be a good event, I'm sure, and looking forward to spending a little time in your home state of Texas, home state now of Texas, next year, about the same time. So,
yeah, well, hopefully it'll be the weather will be good in Houston this time next year, because if it was in July, we may not enjoy it as much. But yeah, no, I'm excited. So
no, it should be fun.
maybe I'll get a second one.
All right. Well, Miss Laura, then before we completely wrap things up, let's go with our favorite part of the video, at least my favorite part. Not so much you, but mine. Time for fun with numbers.
All right. Well, you gave me a clue. You said it was going to be ARA.
All your options this week relate to the ARA event that just took place.
Boy, okay. What do you
All
got?
right. So your number this week is 1,300, 1,300.
Okay.
So is 1,300, is that A, the number of miles I traveled from Cleveland, Ohio to Orlando, Florida? Is it B, the number of attendees at this year's ARA show? Is it C, the number of ag retail outlets based in Canada? Or is it D, the total cost of my $82 Frontier Airlines ticket after all the extras and add-ons were totaled into the amount?
I have a feeling somebody from Frontier is gonna
they are not gonna be happy with me. Thankfully, Frontier is not a sponsor, nor would they ever be. But yeah, it just amazes me how low the ticket price is, and then by the time they get done with all the add-ons, that it's like I said, they easily quadrupled the cost of that ticket. So there's your clue. That's not the correct answer. So
I'm going for A. Travel miles from Cleveland to Orlando.
sorry. No, that is not correct. No, the correct number of miles between Cleveland and Orlando is 1,038. So no, your correct answer
Well,
this
close.
week. Your correct answer
Well,
this
doesn't
week.
that count the driving?
Yeah, no,
No.
your correct answer
Yeah,
this
okay,
week
it is-
is C, the number of ag retail outlets based in Canada. See, I know I brought this in because you had left, but you had to leave a little early, so you missed the last session. This was a comment from Mitch Razanoff, who was the executive director of the Canadian Association of ARA Retailers. He mentioned that in Canada today, there are 1,300 ag retailers. And what I thought was interesting is 1,000 of those are based in Western Canada, which I took to mean British Columbia, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba. And considering how many times I've seen, folks, and I've talked to companies that have retail outlets in Ontario, I was surprised that 1,000 of the 1,300 are located west of there. So apparently there's a lot more farming that goes on in Western Canada provinces than in the east. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not surprised about that, but man, I'm telling you, when was the last time I even won one of these
I think
numbers? And
wasn't
who's
it
having
a couple
fun?
weeks ago? I think you got one right. So you're okay. You're okay. But I did fool you this week. So no. And if you're wondering, the attendees, according to ARA folks, 625 was the attendee number for this year's show.
Great.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this wrap up of the ARA show. If you could not make it there yourself, I'm Eric Sfiligoj on behalf of myself and Lara Sowinski and everyone at CropLife Media Group. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.